Hello, welcome back to my channel. And the movie that I'm going to talk about today, give my quick take on, is Inu-Oh. And it's an animated film. And let me just give you the synopsis of the film. And this comes from AMC. So it's a rock opera about a 14th century superstar whose dance moves take Japan by storm. Born to an esteemed family, Inu-Oh is afflicted with an ancient curse that has left him on the margins of society when he meets the blind musician Tumona, a young, I don't know how to pronounce it, Biwa priest haunted by his past. Inoue discovers the captivating ability to dance. The pair quickly become business partners with inseparable friends as crowds flock to their electric, larger than life concerts. But when those in power threaten to break up the band, Inu and Tomona must dance and sing to uncover the truth behind their creative gifts. So that's the synopsis, right? So so this movie is, I'm not gonna lie, this movie is bonkers. It's out there for sure. It's pretty bonkers. And not really in a good way. It started off, I like the way it started off. Um I thought it was gonna go in one direction and it ended up going completely different from what I expected. And not in a, and at least for me, it wasn't in a good way. So the way it started off was with Timona here, the one with the instrument, Timona. So he and his father, so he's a little kid in the start of the movie, and he and his father go. They get hired by these guys to go get something from under the ocean. So they recover it, but when they open it up, it kills his father and it makes him blind. Right? So then he ends up his mother, I don't remember what happened to his mother. He leaves. He leaves, and I think he leaves to go get revenge. And the spirit of his father is talking to him to go avenge his death, whatever. So he leaves. So I think it seems like it's gonna be a revenge movie, right? Even though he's blind, but it just seems like that's what's gonna happen. And then it completely does a 180 and it becomes a musical. It's just, like I said, it's bonkers. It's crazy. Um, so then he meets, Tomona meets this priest and teaches him how to play the instrument and basically joins this group of, I guess, I don't know how you pronounce it, Biwa priests, and because they play to crowds and to people in high society. And so then we meet, so they go into town to this town, and then they meet Inu-Oh. So Inu-Oh is this disfigured child. He has this like really long arm. His eyes are, instead of here, they're like there. It's all crazy. And and he's treated almost like a dog, um, of the family. And the way it just unfolds becomes really bizarre. So there's like a scene where his father, the Nul, his father, it's like this dancer, and he tells stories with I don't know if he sings or not. I don't think he sings. I don't think they ever show him singing, but they play instruments, his group, and he dances, and they tell stories with that, right? And so Inul, grows up seeing that, and he wants to be a dancer. He wants to do that, so he dances outside. But the father, tells him, "Don't do that," because he's hideous. And hits him and abuses him. But Inul loves to do that, and somehow, like, spirits appear to him and sort of, I don't know what they do. They give him some type of power, and he starts becoming more less deformed and more like regular, I guess, if you want to say that. So, and like in the beginning, he didn't really have like legs, and all of a sudden he has legs and he's able to stand up because he was always on all fours, right? And now he can. So right, so okay, that's fine. But then when it becomes a musical, then it's nuts. It's like it turns like a complete musical. The I would say the second half of the movie. There's so many songs, and they just keep playing the same song over and over, but with different, depending on the situation, what they're trying to say, it's like with different words. And then these two sort of become friends. They do, but it's just weird. It's weird. It's weird too because he says something that I thought he was gonna become like a bad guy, Inu-Oh, because when he starts walking, he wants to like he starts going into town and starts like showing off his moves, and it's scaring people, right? Because because I guess they're not used to the way he looks. I don't know if they know about him or not. It just they're just scared of him. And it's weird. He goes into like he starts looking inside this school of kids, and he says some comment like, I'm gonna take the kids." What? It's weird. I remember he says like a comment like that. I was like, damn, okay, this guy's gonna become like a bad guy. He's gonna start, stealing kids or doing harm to them, but he doesn't. But why would they write that in? That's just a weird thing. Like, why would they make him say that? Like initially, I was like, okay, this is the bad dude, but he doesn't become the bad guy. It's weird. It's really weird. And then when Timona, again with him, his story is like I thought he was gonna become like I said, I thought he was gonna become like avenge his family, avenge his father, avenge himself, right, for being blind. But he doesn't. It's just weird. It just becomes like I said, it just turns 180, and it doesn't make sense to me for where it turned out. Doesn't mean it's necessarily bad that it has to go a certain way, right? But it just wasn't as satisfying to me when I at the end. It's like, oh, okay. And then we learn basically at the end. There's the final performance, and no one has seen Inuo without his mask, and everyone's speculating that he's hideous. And one of the things is, if he's hideous, then he's gonna die, right? And even the father tells him like, "Hey, you're gonna go perform, but if you decide to perform, and they're gonna want to see your mask off, and when you take off your mask, and if you're hideous, they're gonna kill you." And he still decides to take the performance. But then during the performance, we find out why he's deformed. And basically, the story behind it is his father went to this demon or something, to the spirit, and asked for to become the best musician, best whatever, in the country or in the world, whatever, the most renowned. And in exchange, he would have to give up his son. And so what the spirit did, he put like this, I don't know, made him into how he looks. But then at the end, the spirit ends up killing the father, the same spirit that made him know that way and gave his father all these stories, all this stuff, ends up killing the father, and then he becomes, like I said, whole again, and I guess regular. And he takes off his mask, and yeah, it's just a dude. So he doesn't get killed. But in Nuo, when he does die, he does get killed. So he gets killed because he's ordered not to play the songs anymore. He's, he can't play his songs anymore. So basically, in the second half, they both have like their own concerts, and he's sort of telling the story of Inu-Oh, and Inu is telling the story of the spirits in song and dance. So they both do song and dance concerts, but this one is mostly of Inu-Oh, and Inu is doing the songs of the spirits that are dead and they want their stories to be told. So so yeah, so he dies, and then at the very end, I guess his spirit comes back, and he's older, and Inuo meets up with him, and yeah, it's just I don't know. And that's how it ends. It it's a disappointing movie. Uh, it looks cool. There's some cool scenes and there's some cool stuff in it, but I don't know. For me, when it became a musical, it became a letdown. To be honest, it would have been cool if he was going to go for revenge for me, and then he meets a Newell, and then they become friends, or and they help each other. That'd be cool. But it didn't. It didn't. It became more of a musical, and for me, it just it wasn't for me. But I mean, if you enjoyed it, that's cool. So let me know what you think and see if you enjoyed it. It's still worth watching. So, it was. I don't know if it's still in the theaters, but hey, at least check it out and see what you think. And thank you for watching, and see you on the next one. All right.